Yeah, we're Kid Dynamite. Thanks for being here.
Well, Kid Dynamite, for the past 3 years, ever since we broke up, we've been kicked around the idea of possibly getting together and just doing a show, but not really like announcing it. We were like, okay, at one point we were gonna try to do this cave-in New Year's Eve show and just show up and play, and that never happened. And then we're like, it'll be fun to play again, you know. We always see each other around, and you know, yeah, it'd be fun to play. And then Mark Beamer offered us, you know, he said, would you guys play for my benefit? And it was the perfect opportunity to do a reunion and not make it cheesy, you know, not make it self-indulgent. Make it something that is useful for what it is, you know, and not be like, oh, we're doing a reunion show and collect all this money.
Hello, my name is Mark Beamer, and I'm the reason you're all here today.
Basically, it's to raise awareness and to raise money for people who can't afford health care or cancer treatment for breast cancer. Mark makes it a point to go on stage every night and say that no matter how young you are, you're not too young to get breast cancer, and that everyone should get checked out every year. You know, a lot of like health insurance providers will say, you know, you don't have to get it till you're 40, but I believe he said Sorrentha was 31 when she died, 31 or 33. And it was pretty young, and it could have been prevented, and Mark's trying to prevent other people from going through what he's gone through, and I'm happy to be part of it. The whole Kid Dynamite thing in general, I think, is a lot of people didn't get to see us. And I think that's what makes this weekend so cool, is we're giving people the chance to see it again. It's so cool to see how passionate they are when we're playing these songs, because it just recycles. It's back out then, they're back at us, and it's really intense. I think about, what if things didn't happen the way they did and we stayed together and we were still a band, you know? Then this weekend wouldn't be as special as it is, you know? But at the same time, it's like, yeah, you know, we could have gone on and done a couple more records and, you know, kept playing and playing. But I try not to think about it too much, because it's moot. Basically, I left because touring was really hell for me. I had school to finish. I had these two things, you know, you want to be an artist and you want to make a living, and you either go for this or you go for this. And I chose to go for this because I could always come back to this. And this, meaning Kid Dynamite, you know, I was like, okay, I can either, you know, do what I've dreamt of doing for a long time and make a living at it and be perfecting my craft or mastering my craft, but, you know, just getting my foot in the door. I chose one thing over the other, and they just decided that, you know, they couldn't do it without me, I guess. They didn't want to. So, which is, you know, understandable considering that I was the singer. Gorilla Biscuits was my influence. They were my foot in the door. Like I listened to that band, I was like, this. Like I grew up on metal, you know, and then, you know, listening to bands like, you know, Motley Crue and, like, you know, Metallica, who are still my favorite band of all time, no matter what anyone says about them. Their lyrics are kind of coded. And then you can come in and you hear bands like Sick of It All and Gorilla Biscuits singing about, you know, real stuff. You know, for someone who was my age, you know, for people who are older like Dan and you know, Dave, it was more like probably like Minor Threat and, like, you know, that stuff, who were singing about just normal stuff, like Sif singing about cleaning up his room. You know, his room's a mess and he can't get dressed. It's like, whoa, how can you sing that in a song? And it's just amazing that you can be that honest and it works. So that's pretty much what I got, what I took from what I've learned from bands that I've pretty much been introduced me to hardcore, and I just, you know, put it back into it. It's just something that luckily comes natural to me. coming from my standpoint, especially with my insecurities, I always hate everything I do. After I listen to it, you know, like, oh man, I could have done this, could have done that. But Kid Dynamite was one of those things where it was like the first thing in my life where I didn't second guess anything I ever did. You know, and the songs that Dan wrote were so powerful, and with Wagon Shoots on drums, and then later with Michael joining the band, like there was a chemistry there that I'm sad to say I'll never get again in another band, but I could try. But I'll never, like, there'll never be, I will never probably play in another band with the chemistry that KD had. And I'm not afraid to say it. It might happen again, but I don't think it's gonna.